Well, the first time ever in all my years of gardening, I just lost all my tomatoes to the tomato blight. Started about less than a week ago. A couple leaves started turning brown, and then all of a sudden it just started spreading like wildfire to all the plants, and basically they're all goners now. I guess they say, I guess part of it was my fault actually, because it's been such a wet year and I never was able to get in and get everything properly trimmed back and tied up and everything. And also we've had rain like every 2 or 3 days, and the ground has just remained solid mud around the tomatoes along with the mulch there. So I guess that's what starts this disease, and I guess it's a problem for others this year also. So the first thing I started to do was just try to take the tomato plant apart and just save whatever green tomatoes I could that didn't have any of the brown spots or marks on them or anything. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with the green tomatoes this year, but it was just kind of a heartbreaking issue after spending a couple months starting the plants, getting them going, and they were just getting to a decent size and starting to get loaded with tomatoes. I still haven't had any real red tomatoes yet, but basically I guess I won't this year now. So at least I did get some extra tomatoes put up last year, so I still have some left over, but this was just just a big surprise to me that I'd never seen before. And there you can see I pull the stakes out, and the ground is still solid mud down there, and the tomatoes basically have very little root system this year because it's been nothing but mud and rain. I've never seen it like this before. So here I am starting to pull them out and ripping out the tomatoes and all, and it's just like one plant after the next is, they're all gone. So I was going to use that little cart, but it turned out just too much. I got like 90 plants in there, so starting to take them out. And I got out that plywood bucket I made for my tractor bucket for leaves and decided to use that to get rid of these. I guess they recommend that you burn them, but I really, you can't open burn where I am, and have no way to do that. So basically what I'm going to do is take them to the far corner of my property and dump them there, which probably about 1,200 feet away from the garden, and it's all downhill and the wind never blows that way, so I'm hoping to be able to put them there and not have a problem with it again. So I just thought I'd take you for a little ride with me on the tractor as I, go down to dump my first batch. And there you can see I'm making a little bit of progress on digging out the hill and leveling everything for the drainage. But a big problem with that has also been rain. Every couple days it just gets too muddy to work in there. And then at the same time, with all this rain, I've been having to mow my lawn every 2 to 3 days. And actually maybe 4 days sometimes, but it's just been crazy. The stuff is just growing like a weed, and there you can see behind all those weeds are my pond, and I haven't been able to get to that yet. It's just been, the weeds have been growing so fast, and usually this area where we're going through now is probably about 35-40 feet wide, and you can just see how the weeds have taken off and started growing in this year. It's just crazy. Everything is just growing out of control, and right now the bugs and mosquitoes are also getting out of control. So here we are, and this is another spot that's been kind of wet all summer. I've had a hard time mowing this area too. It usually dries up by the end of July, middle of July, but this year it's just it's just been so bad. So I figured I'd take all these plants and just dump them in the back corner of my property there, and hopefully they'll just rot away and won't be able to make it back up to the garden. So here we are, just kind of going back to that area, and I guess I'm gonna have to get a sickle bar or something for my mower someday to keep this all cut down on wet years like this. But you know, it's definitely been a constant battle this summer with all the rain and, you know, wet weather that we've had. Just trying to keep everything under control. And you can see I haven't even done a lot of the weed whacking and stuff that I normally do. So here we are, headed back up this hill toward that raised bed area of the garden. And everything in there has been doing just fantastic. Not one problem. Everything's got good drainage. Everything's been dry. I mean, we get some rain, but, you know, the next day it's basically drained out and dry. So, you know, hopefully I'll be able to get some better drainage in the garden over time. So, you know, here we are. I just went through and had to pull out all the tomato plants, and I'd say I dumped at least 1,000 to 1,200 pounds of tomatoes to get rid of them down there. I think it was 6 or 7 bucketfuls that I wound up taking down there in the end. And you can see the stuff that gets on your hand from these tomatoes too. It was really nasty to get off. And in the end I had, you know, I was starting to collect any of the better green ones as I went along. And that cart's pretty full. And then I actually had some buckets that I started filling up too. So now I got all the tomatoes out, and I have to go back tomorrow and just clean out all the mulch and dump that too. So now here I am stuck with a bunch of green tomatoes, and I guess I'm going to be looking for some recipes to can or pickle or do something with these tomatoes so they don't go to waste. It's just a shame to, you know, not have one good fresh tomato out of a garden that you spent months working on. I just thought I'd share this just to show you just how fast everything something like this can spread through a garden and the damage it can cause. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.